Another way to become a more servant leader or facilitator instead of micromanaging your team or the people you guide, could be in class, students, but also team members in your work, is to rotate meetings, or in the case of students, facilitating the class sessions themselves. So I will narrow down with the previous case I got from Bram, he being a health coordinator, and he's working together with his team, and he has his own manager as well. So how do you do that when you're in between those different dynamics of being controlled by someone, control between brackets, and you have to control others as well in the same line? So another tip could be rotate meetings. First of all, it's very nice for people to let them experience how it is to be you, how it is to be a chairman in a meeting, to listen to everyone, to make sure that the agenda is or the program is very sharp, to actually be the spider in the web, sometimes to eliminate things that go wrong, etc. So you gain a lot of empathy by your team members, and in your case, the caretakers, to see what it's like to be in your position. So first of all, that's very good. Second of all, it's very good that they become, of course, more knowledgeable about their own organization, because they have to prepare the meeting and they have to ask questions to their team members. They will also become more knowledgeable, get more insights about their portfolio or their responsibilities or their challenges. And I think that is really a good step forward to get those people more engaged with what they are doing, and maybe they are doing the same things and reinvent the wheel all the time, so they can collaborate. So there's two sides of the same coin in rotating chairmanship in meetings, that again, first of all, they will understand you more, how it is for you as coordinator of this team, as chairman, and it's maybe not always easy. And second of all, so to gain empathy, and second of all, they become more knowledgeable about their own team and the tasks that are in place. So that's the first thing, why it is so important to rotate. Well, second of all, besides why it's so important, I would really make clear for yourself why is this meeting being held. Because often there's Monday morning meetings and they are there just because they're there. But really ask yourself again, why is this meeting here today at this moment of time, and it will take 2 hours or 3 hours? What are the main objectives, and what do I really need to know? And what are things they can do in their own time, or I can send a fact sheet or maybe a video of yourself, like I'm doing right now, so people feel more engaged. Very easy. Every computer has a camera nowadays. So you can involve people like that too. So what is the main objective of the meeting? Have that very sharp and clear, and all the things that are discussed besides that, make sure that there's no room for that, because you want to be very clear and keep it short, and everything that is extra you can always talk with people afterwards or in another time. So that's the second point. The third point is are all the stakeholders at the table of this particular meeting? Because if you rotate chairmanship, or if you host a meeting yourself, and not all the accurate stakeholders are in the room, then it's very difficult to make decisions. And then you see that the discussions become really on a meta level that's very blurry often and not very concrete. And you want to have on-the-spot answers and decisions so you can move forward. So if not everyone is there, then either postpone the meeting or do it via a Skype call. But again, make very sure that this meeting makes sense and you can move forward after this, and it's not just a chit-chat moment. Because then you can also have a drink together, which is also very nice. Fourth of all, provide very clear guidelines what you would like the meeting to be, what you would love it the meeting will bring. So as you often see as well in presentations, is that people start with sharing the expectations, what should be the outcome of that presentation. And of course, you can also do this with meetings, like, okay, good morning, everyone. In this meeting, I would love to see, I don't know, the updates of your responsibility XYZ. And I would love to celebrate that this project is moving forward, etc. So you can always start your meeting with some future tense, as they say it. So talk in the future, where is the meeting, what would be the result within 2 hours from now. So you keep people very sharp with that. Another good way of either rotating a meeting or to make a meeting more participative is to start with a check-in. So before you jump into this the agenda or the program, what you want to gain out of the meeting, also do a check-in with your team members. So ask them, for example, what are you grateful for today? What would you love to see this meeting will bring? How do you feel today? Very important. People often forget about that. How do you feel? It's a very different question than, hey, how are you? Sometimes people do not even know what they feel, so give them 10 seconds to, just feel what they feel, and they can verbalize it themselves. So this little check-in always brings engagement and maybe even new topics on the table, or maybe new reasons for you, more information, new information, why people can or cannot contribute in the ways you had planned. Because this is all in your mind and you need to figure out what's really there. And maybe people had a really traumatic experience, maybe somebody passed away, a family member, and then you cannot expect their full participation, and you don't have to frustrate yourself for it or feel personally attacked or something, because it's not about you. They have their stuff on their mind. So I think that's a very powerful way to get a productive meeting. Next to that, make sure that everyone participates. So either you rotate as a chairman, but when you host this meeting, you can ask questions to all the team members as well, of course. And there's always people that are more timid and more introvert, and they rather not speak up. But it's very important to get their stake in as well. So what you can do is that you can also ask people to write things down or put a post-it on the wall. For example, if you have a very daring situation and you want to have everyone's opinion from 0 to 10, are they against or for this new rule or regulation? Make sure that they can post their numbers, for example, their rating on the wall, and then they can verbalize it, why they chose this number, this rating. So by this, they can really be involved and give their opinion about where they stand. And also the more timid people will open up because they feel they have enough space to make up their minds, and they really know what they want to say. And also everyone else is doing it, so they're not alone. So that's also a good way to get the more introverted people to talk. Another way to get more participative meeting style is that make everyone update how they're on the project, their responsibilities, but only the highlights, so maybe top 3, so you keep it very short, and make them maybe stand or do it in a different way than they used to. Dare them a little bit as well to make the meeting more fun and more energetic and more participative. So you're not the only one that has to think about those things. Put on a little music, it's all possible. You also asked the question, so how can I make sure during the meetings or after the meetings that people also take initiative for the boring stuff that is out there? Maybe what's boring for you, it's not boring for them. So it's very good to maybe make a list together with your team, like what are the to-dos in general, and let's prioritize them. or prioritize them for yourself, what you think is very important or urgent to do first, and then see where everyone stands. And maybe someone really loves to, I don't know, work with Excel sheets, and the other one loves to go to the Albert Heijn and take care of the lunch. You know, there's always different, different things that people like to do, and might be really weird, but maybe the things that you find really boring, a lot of people love to do. And you might think, oh, but they don't take any initiative to do it right now. But you're not sure if it's because they don't see it or they don't want to see it, or maybe you have to ask them. So maybe you can devote one session to that. Like, what are the main tasks? What are the tasks that are not really wanted for people to execute? And what are we doing with those tasks? Because they're part of the whole, so they need to be done as well. So keep it very open, because I don't have the answer here, you don't have the answer. So yeah, treat them like equals, right? Ask them themselves, so what shall we do with that? And you also mentioned that you already had a little intervention there, and you were saying that you would love for people to focus more and to take responsibility for the process, otherwise it costs you a lot of energy. Well, there you have it. Words like process, energy, and focus are pretty broad. So I can imagine that, I don't know, that your team members do not really know what you mean. Like, why are you losing focus? Why is this part of the process? They don't see it because they're really in a specific task or in a specific role, and you are more the one that has the bird perspective. So really be concrete. What would you love to see, rather than what are the symptoms, what it does with you if they don't do things? Because you feel it and they don't feel it, most probably, because they're not you. So again, what do you want? Do you want them to help you, I don't know, sending out an Excel sheet? I just use stupid examples because then you can fill in the gaps yourself. But if you make that very concrete, then they know what they can do next time to either support you or not, instead of talking about what doesn't work for you. So always stay on the side that is constructive, that is supportive, that is positive, and not to say that it is not a big deal, but just to turn your wordings around and to focus on that, what would really help you. It would really help me if I do not longer have to take care of the coffee maker, because I have a lot of other stuff to do, is other people that would love to help me with that. You know, things like that. Be very concrete, or with more, more hardcore stuff that has everything to do with your work, but you know what I mean. So invite them to be on your side, on your camp, so to speak. So you don't have to do it yourself. Another thing is that things like also make sure that everyone is well prepared before they join your meeting or your gathering, if it's you or another chairman. So what they call in the education field is often flipping the classroom. So what you do is that you send either a document, I would suggest a video of yourself, again you have a webcam on your phone and everything, and just run through the meeting a few days on forehand, very fast, like I need this, or is there anyone that can help me with this, or do you have ideas about ABC? Please check this other movie because there's information about your topic, or hey, I found an article about that, something just nice, doesn't always have to be that serious, or maybe a document or a news article. So people can very feel that you are really involved and you care, and they can already start thinking about the meeting before it's actually happening. I remember in my days working for the Ministry of Health that the whole preparation before the meeting was even more important than the meeting. I think this was also because partially they were lobbying. They were already checking opinions from the stakeholders at the meeting, which is also very important to do. But it also helps to move forward through the meetings, and it's not new information for everyone, but you can just make easily your decisions, yes or no. So preparation is half of the work, as they say, or maybe 3/4 of the work, I should say. And then you have a quarter left to do during the meeting, and you can also lay back a little bit and maybe make some jokes, make it energetic, put on the music, etc. And if there's other things that you would love for them to do, it's like not, walking away from a meeting where you talk while you're talking, or not leaving their cigarettes, or make a mess out of the room. Yeah, also include that in a session. How would your ideal meeting look like? Again, take them on your side. Take 30 minutes of their time to write down their ideal meeting style, or how they would love to meet in these settings, in the work, of course, in the work setting. And maybe they come up with new things that you haven't thought about, and then you collect that and you make a new way of ways to participate these meetings yourself and for them, and to make it way more fun and participative, because they were building these meetings themselves. So ask their opinion as well. That might really help too. So I hope that was useful for you, quite some points. Let me know if you have any comments, and I will answer them next.